Today in the Swivellink studios, we have Jonathan Klingen, the mastermind behind the new product called the PLx. So John, just some questions I want to go through here for the viewers, just to give a better feel for what the PLx is all about. So we'll just start off with, what is the PLx?
So the PLx is a handheld device used for safety professionals to help validate the safety equipment on industrial machinery.
Okay.
In the simplest terms.
Pretty basic.
Yeah.
How does the PLx, I guess, just differ from other ways of testing?
So prior to the invention of the PLx, a lot of safety professionals would actually have to go into a live cabinet, pull individual wires, short wires together to validate the safety system.
It doesn't sound very safe.
No, it's not.
All right, so be careful if you're doing that way, and if you are doing it that way, then you need the PLx. So I guess, who's this device for and where is it commonly used at?
Yeah, so like I said, pretty much any safety professional or anybody working on industrial equipment that wants to test, validate, or even help diagnose their safety systems, whether it be light curtains, e-stops, gate switches, you name it, that's who could use the PLx.
Gotcha. So a lot of opportunities out there. And then, how do I know that my safety devices are compatible for use with the PLx?
The PLx is designed around a M12 8-pin connection, so if you have particular devices that already have an M12 built in, you're pretty safe that it's compatible. Now we've designed it around to where the safety signals are on pins 5 and 6. So if you have a device that has the safety signals on, let's say, pins 2 and 7, you would need a set of converter cables or adapter cables, or like I say, you could just use some straight through cables if your devices are automatically configured at pins 5 and 6.
Gotcha. So as far as ISO is concerned, can you just tell us how ISO and the PLx, I guess, come into play? Does it meet the ISO requirements while you're using the PLx? Just hit on that a little bit.
So ISO 13849 is the primary safety standard. A lot of is what everybody should be using to help design the control systems and the reliability of them. So part 1 kind of tells you how to design it. Part 2 actually says you need to go ahead and validate your safety system. And part of the way the validating is actually inducing faults into that safety system. And that's what the PLx does. Just by simply flipping a switch, you can induce three, 4 different faults into the system versus the old school method of going into a cabinet, pulling wires, shorting wires together.
So much safer, quicker, easier, and as far as ISO requirements go, I mean, this is just a good option.
Absolutely. And a lot of machine integrators we work with have actually started standardizing around the M12 connections. Versus previously they may have just ran wires back into a cabinet in the terminal box.
Gotcha. And this is something that you guys have been using for a while internally for all your testing, validating the safety equipment.
Correct, and it literally cuts our time in about half to validate all the safety systems, just by simply inserting it in series with the device and flipping the switches versus, like I say, going into
That's
the
a lot of
cabinets.
time savings, not on just one job, but over the year, multiple jobs. That really adds
and
up.
especially those really big jobs that take up the entire plant floor, and you have to test every single safety device. So if you have 12 e-stops, you got to test all 12 e-stops.
Wow. So, all right. Well, I definitely appreciate your time, John. You guys stay tuned as we dive deeper into the PLx and its capabilities, and we do some testing. So thank you for your time. Much appreciated.